Welcome back, this is Hearthside, episode 8, and today, I'm going to make that food farm I promised. We're going to do things that we haven't done before, like use gantries. Gantries are really interesting, and they can be a little bit complicated, so let's see how things go. Also, I was going to do the cabbage rolls, but if you'll notice, cabbage is fertile in autumn and winter. Carrots are fertile in spring and autumn. That means that in the end, what we have a problem with is that they are going to be off-synced most seasons, and one will grow faster than the other. We may have to do cabbage rolls in a different way later on, but as of right now, we're just gonna go with a carrot garden. And yes, of course, I could absolutely just make a spinning garden like the one that I have for the mystical agriculture area out here. Well, it's a temporary area. I put a seat down so that I can just watch it spin for a while. It's temporary, and I just need this to fill up. Preferably faster than what it is. This is mature. Harvest it. Thank you. Oof. That's going to take a while, so instead, I'm going to put my food farm out here and probably have the back facing the retaining wall. So, let's get started. The first thing we need to make are our gantry shafts and such. I will get all the materials, and then I'm going to go over how this farm works, because it's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, I want to make a kiosk. Oh, I'm going to need more rich soil. Right, so we're going to make a kind of different type of farm. Rather than spinny farm, we're going to use a gantry, and the gantry is this. This is a gantry carriage, and you'll be using a gantry shaft as well. I will show you what the gantry carriage can do. It runs along the gantry shafts. They slide along that. They can also move attached blocks. That's the feature we're going to use. We're going to attach the harvester, the interface, and chests to this gantry. You can also propagate power through these. If you stop the gantry itself with a redstone, it will instead push power through here. There's more to the gantries, but that's a little more complicated than what we're going to get today. So, for now, I'm just going to mount everything I want on it. I never bring my wrench anywhere. And we'll glue all of these together, and of course the harvester to the front. That is the very basics of the setup. The next part, of course, will be delivery, and that is extremely simple. Just put these two interfaces facing towards each other with 1 block separation, as we've done before, and then we'll have to pull those items out. Honestly, we could go very simple, but I think I'll go just a little bit nicer looking. There's all of that. Now, you might wonder why we have some redstone links and some pulse extenders. That will be explained shortly. For now, let's just see if we can get this to work. What kind of power source do we want? Honestly, tiny windmill. With how much carrots I get from my regular garden, I can probably just make do with that until this thing is up and running. Oh, we are going to have a problem, Michael. You can't get into the machines. Another new create piece that we're going to be playing with is the gear shift. And what this does is it reverses rotation. That's going to be useful for when we want our farm to go back and forth. We're also going to be starting to put clutches into our machines. When it's powered by redstone, it will just stop the connection. That is a shut-off mechanism, and we'll be using that for when that chest fills up with carrots. It's a likelihood that I won't be able to eat them faster than it can make them. Now, I've turned the little windmill up there on, and nothing is happening because it's pulling it back towards itself. But if I flip this lever on the gear shift, it will start very slowly, making its way across, and it'll harvest the carrots automatically. It's okay that it takes 6 years. You know what? No, it's not. That is too long. Maybe I'll add some more sails at the top of that. See if that helps. We don't want it to be massive, massive. But maybe like a triangle shape, and I might switch the orientation of the bearing. Let's see how much faster that is. Oh yes, that's much more reasonable. It's a little bit, not carroty. You know what? I might change those ones, those white ones to orange, and those purple ones to green. But yes, that's plenty fast enough. So, if you notice, if I just left this lever on, it would get to the very end and stop dead. When it does. In about 7 years. I could have this gantry a little shorter, in fact. And I'm going to. What I want to do is observe that this has returned, the gantry has returned back to its starting position, and then send it back. So to do that, of course, we're going to need an observer. It's going to spit out a redstone signal this away. And we're going to extend the pulse it sends. We're going to need to do that. That's not great. Let's see. So we have a lot of new mechanisms on this, and let me show you kind of how they work. This observer is going to see when this machine fully stops at the end of the gantry line. It's going to see the interface specifically. After that, it will send out a really quick 1-tick pulse into this. This is a pulse extender. See that? And this will lengthen that signal for 45 seconds long. I'm going to change these out for carrots in just a moment. This pulse feeds into this redstone link. This redstone link connects to this redstone link. Yes, Create does in fact have wireless redstone. It's fantastic. In order to make a redstone link a receiver, you just right-click it, and it will change it to a receiving type. I did mess that up, but that's all right. The next thing I'm going to show you is the threshold switch. The threshold switch is extraordinarily hard to explain, but I am going to do my best. In fact, let me show you the explanation for the redstone link. The receivers emit the redstone power of transmitters within 250 blocks. You can have this all over this valley. It wouldn't be a problem. You can specify frequencies as well, so if you want a farm to shut off or to make yourself a control system, you could absolutely do that very, very easily. And shut off farms or emit redstone signals from a distance or with different types of signals. So, it's very exciting and a little complicated. We're going to need another redstone link, in fact, and we're going to need that threshold switch. The threshold switch is made with an electron tube, a brass casing, and a redstone comparator. This is very, very useful for making it to where when you are filled up on an item, say, if I fill this entire little chest with carrots, I can dictate what happens next. The way we do this is we place it against the container, and when the inventory content exceeds the upper threshold, it will change the redstone output. It stays until the lower threshold is reached. That, when you get in the GUI, it is confusing. And of course you can filter it. You can do this with fluids, you can do this with all sorts of things, including item drains, I believe. Oh, hey, wait, no, I did not know this. You can extend the heck out of a rope pulley. I'm not sure why you would do that exactly, but it does not matter. I'm going to place this against here, and if I place carrots in there, you'll see that it has a little interface. Now, I can say to this threshold switch, hey, when this fills up to 75%, switch the redstone signal. And it will do that until it drops to 25%. You can invert that signal if you like, but what I want it to do is emit a redstone signal until it is 75% of the way full, like it says. So we're going to place this here. Oops. We're going to put on a display link, or a redstone link there, and a redstone link on our clutch up here. And you can just shift right click it, sneak right click it, and also change it up. Give me my carrots back, thank you. We're going to replace this with 1 carrot and a rich soil. And also replace this one with 1 carrot, saying, hey, this is the one for the gantry arm. And this is going to be carrot and chest. The carrots that are in the chest. This looks like a very wonky setup, but I promise it will look good by the end. There are those things. So, when this fills up, finally, to 75%, and I think I can only get it to a minor amount as of right now. I'm going to have to restart this up again. Sometimes you've got to kickstart it to get it back to where it needs to be. You know what? I think this signal actually needs to be inverted. Now, is it nearly as efficient as a spinny farm? No, it isn't. But with the build that I'm going to put around it, I think it's going to be very cute. So, alright, kicked off the entire farm. Let's tidy up the front of this. I want it to look a little bit nicer on the inside of what's going to be kind of a food truck looking piece. Oh, I am not a smart woman. It also reverses my belts, which means I'm going to have to split off from that before it gets here. How do I want to do that? How are you guys doing? Is it nice and warm in there? Good. Hi, babies. So that was a ton of fiddling around and toying with a design. And it's such a small farm. It's literally that. It's nothing. But the reason I want it is because I want a very specific look for this little place. Let's get started on the aesthetics. Now, I can appreciate that this is a very small, extremely over-engineered farm, but I am really, really liking how it's turning out so far. I'll show you a little bit of the outside real quick. Oh, I missed a brass piece over there. I'm going to probably need to get more copper and zinc again. Oh geez, almost fell off the side. Let's head on over here. Yeah, that looks cool. I like it. There's a big old tank on the back, and then I'm going to make the kiosk up front and make that super nice. Also, I did change the sails. I think they look a little bit better, but I really might take the 4 center ones out, even if it makes it all go a little bit slower. Oh yeah, that looks a little more wonky, but it's fun. It's very fun. I like it. All right, let's get this started up again. Oh geez. Oh, of course. Need to go grab a hoe again. And looky there, in the short time that we've been working on this, we've got this many carrots. That's nice. That's very nice. How's this going? Ho ho, here we go. Look at that. Oh, we will get into mystical agriculture in a little while. I'm going to need it because I want to be able to fly without an elytra, and that is an augment. Which, of course, we'll discuss later because that's a long way out. That's a process. That is a serious, serious process. So instead, let's finish out this carrot farm. Well, look at those carrots flooding in. We have a few in there already. Wonderful. And here is the finished result. Oh, from the side it looks interesting and weird. But from over here, I like it. I like being able to see the machinery going back and forth. I like the idea of a big old tank on the side of a dwelling or workplace. It's kind of hard to see from down there. Not gonna lie. But yeah, I feel that that is interesting and strange and steampunk and very cute. I used a lot of oak because oak is a pretty orange wood. I could use acacia, but as of right now, I simply don't have any, and I don't want to get any. This build is one that I would classify as cantankerous. Also, thanks to Mr. Vining, we have a name for one of our chameleons. It's Confetti, and I adore it. And one last thing before I leave you. I found another set of ruins, but instead of the stone being fascinating, I found something else. There's cogs in a cave-in. There's a light. All of this looks intentionally placed, but caved in. So I'm very curious about it. I'll keep you updated on if I find anything more. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining me.